Let's get her started. Everyone ready? Oh, no intro or nothing?
Love.
Wow.
We forgot to do the intro. We're 5 minutes late.
We forgot.
That was my fault.
That's okay.
All right, cut. Start over. Let's do it again.
No, play the intro.
It's
Wait it.
Hey.
Love.
Love.
Well, we started abruptly, but we only had at that time I think 4 viewers. Now we have so
I'd like
now we have 5.
to point out Gary's dedication. Gary is coming to us live from Aquaman.
Wow.
So
Okay.
I like to imagine Gary's
I'm gonna
holding
be
up his phone.
We're probably more exciting than Aquaman.
Jerry, that's so sad that Momoa is boring you right now.
I like him.
Momoa ate a fry off my plate once at a restaurant. It was very random.
Wait, Momoa ate a fry? Your fry?
He came over to we were at Comic-Con and he came over to our table and he knew the one of the people we were with and he was talking for a minute and he just was like, I'm gonna grab one of these fries, brother. And I'm like, go for it. Well, I'm not gonna tell you not to.
I would say like you're gonna try to grab one of mine.
I wasn't quick enough. I was too starstruck. I'm like, oh, Jason Momoa, sure, have a fry.
Have all of them. Have my onion rings.
Yeah. You want my burger too, sir?
So now imagine if a Momoa was in Die Hard.
That would probably be better.
Ooh.
I think I might like that better.
Remake. Momoa Die Hard.
Yeah, because we need more Die Hard movies. What's up,
Does
Grace?
Momoa shave his head?
I could watch every Die Hard movie.
I gotta say though, okay, there was sequels, but it's like I don't know. I don't remember the sequels.
There's like
The
a million
second
sequels.
one is
there's
phenomenal.
There's 6, right? Or 5 plus the Kevin Hart one.
Well,
Die Hard.
Die Hard. Yeah, Die Hard. That's what we're reviewing tonight, actually, guys. It's Die Hard. And, yeah. Okay. Let's just get to it.
Yeah,
Before
Alexa started playing Die Hard for me.
Die Hard. We are not reviewing Die Hard, everyone. We are reviewing Die Hard.
I messed up.
The original. Yes, Krystle screwed up. She will be reviewing Die Hard. Everybody else is on Die Hard. Welcome, love.
Okay.
Before we go any further, I just want to say happy belated birthday to Brian.
Hey, happy belated birthday!
Very thoughtful of you, Jake. I appreciate that.
Yeah, welcome to the party, pal.
I sent you a gift on Twitter. I hope you got it. It was a red balloon.
Oh, yes.
Just
I got it.
It was a red balloon.
I sent you a gift.
Red balloon.
My friend in Germany, she sent me 99 of them.
I was waiting for it, for someone to say it.
99.
Luftballons.
Luftballons. So,
The original.
how are we feeling? Okay, I assume everybody has seen Die Hard before. Is there anybody who did not see?
Wow.
Okay, so I did when I was like 10, but I don't really count it because the only thing I could remember was like the scene in the air vent. That's it.
Wait a second. So Jake never saw it,
I never saw it.
and Krystle saw it when she was 10 and doesn't remember. Interesting.
That's the scene right there. That's it. That's
I know I've seen it, but it might have as well have been that I was seeing it for the first time because I didn't remember a lot of it.
yeah. What does he say? Now I know what the inside of a toaster feels like or something. What's he say?
Yeah, something like that.
Microwave.
We'll get together, have a few laughs.
For not being Arnold, he had a lot of pretty good one-liners.
I
was actually sad because I was expecting more one-liners. Like there were a lot of spots where like he was like a long pause would happen and I was like, what's this one-liner gonna be? And then it was like nothing. And I was very sad.
Chris
think
Franklin TV dinner.
That's what he said. Okay, now I know what a TV dinner feels like.
that's right. I think many of the one-liners were ad-libbed in this.
Yeah,
That's how I feel like it
Yippee-ki-yay was ad-lib.
Yeah.
And I think that's the most memorable thing from this movie. Like,
Yippee-ki-yay. That's
and
the
I
most
literally forgot that.
memorable thing.
You don't think that's like the
I
most
think so.
quoted thing
Most
from this
memorable
movie?
line? Maybe the most memorable line.
I would say the fact that they've used it in every Die Hard since, like that's the one that carries over.
Yeah, Yippee-ki-yay, mother trucker. Like that is.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
What's one that's more used than that?
Yeah, I think for line wise, you're probably right.
I know.
And point Krystle.
I know everything. So I've seen this. I don't know how many times. Probably a lot. So I'm assuming Brian and Marilyn, and you both have seen this a lot. And Noah, no.
No. As I said, it's like I might as well have been watching it for the first time because there was a lot that I didn't remember of it at all.
I didn't hear you say that. Sorry.
And maybe because it's like through the years, I may have seen like bits and pieces here and there from other people watching and being at their place or something like that. But yeah, I don't recall when the last time was that I actually sat down and watched the whole thing until now.
How many of you guys watch this like every holiday? Brian, Ralph, is this a Christmas movie for you?
It's coming on. Yeah, it's coming on AMC in a couple of days. So it's on every holiday because it's a Christmas movie to some people.
Right.
I mean, I saw this in theaters. I saw when it came out.
88?
And it was funny because literally, in 88. And then literally in 89 or 90 or even 91, I had gone to LA and we stayed at that Century City Hotel next door. And I was like, hey, that's the Nakatomi building. And they're like,
watching helicopters blow up.
And they're like, no, it's the Fox building, you lunatic. I'm like, oh, okay.
Like, but the Mr. Nakatomi owns it.
But okay, so out of all of us here, who sits down and watches Christmas movies on a given day? Because I don't.
Wait, on a given day in December?
On Christmas?
Oh yeah, for Christmas. Sit down, watch Christmas movies, and
I'll be honest. From December 1st until the 25th, pretty much most of the content I consume is Christmas based.
Okay, Noah, what's your favorite Christmas movie of all time?
I would be like I feel so lazy because it's a given, but A Christmas Story. I feel like that is just such the iconic one. That's the one my family quotes all the time. That's the one that's on 24 hours a day, starting on Christmas Eve. Like that's almost a given.
Brian, what's your Christmas movie?
My favorite Christmas movie, and in my house, I have a picture of the poster. I have a famous quote from the movie. A friend has given me a promotional still from the movie from back in the day, and It's a Wonderful Life.
I knew it. I knew you were going to say that. I had to say it because I knew you were going to say that.
Wow!
It's literally you walk into my house, the front door, and right to the right are these three. Every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings, and then the poster, and then the picture of when him and his wife are welcoming Martini to their new house. So
I
had a feeling. Marilyn, what is your favorite Christmas movie?
I don't know because it's not like I said I watch Christmas movies, but I don't sit down nostalgically to watch like all the Christmas movies and just sit down and it's like, okay, I'm gonna just watch Christmas movies today of back in the day and stuff like that. I really don't do that.
Don't turn on the Hallmark channel.
At all. I don't even count.
I don't get the Hallmark channel.
Made.
Evergreen advice.
Okay, Jake, what is your favorite Christmas movie?
I got to give it to Christmas Vacation. Hands down.
Okay.
Hands down.
Yeah, I respect that.
Yep. That's one of my top 3. Ralph, what is yours?
Probably Christmas Story. I grew up hearing, you're going to shoot your eye out my whole life. That was a little annoying, but it was fine. But yeah, no, I love that movie. I've watched it many, many times. I'd say Die Hard is a close second.
Really? Okay. Yeah, mine is It's a Wonderful Life, The Grinch with Jim Carrey and Christmas Vacation, and then a smooth fourth would be A Christmas Story. So
Christmas Vacation is awesome. That
I
was awesome.
cannot
Yeah.
not do December without those three. And as soon as I get the decorations out, I've got a playlist on my Plex, and I just let all my Christmas movies play while I decorate the house. So I make sure that I get them all in.
I think an honorable mention would be the Charlie Brown Christmas too.
Yeah,
Of course. And Batman Returns.
OG Grinch too. I got to throw in there.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
Oh yeah, that was great. I sad to report I have never seen It's a Wonderful Life, and I guess I should eventually.
Ooh.
I know, I just never saw it.
It's an essential viewing.
One day I'll watch it.
It's long.
Yeah,
Get the
got some
food
tissues.
Get a charcuterie board.
50 something.
earlier.
40s.
Maybe.
The 40s? Is it the 40s?
I think so.
I think it was 53.
Oh, maybe.
It's
Have any of you
black and white.
seen?
Bring
have any
it
of you
back.
seen-
Sorry,
Sorry.
1946.
46?
Yes,
Yeah.
black and white.
Oh
Yeah.
God, I don't know if I'm gonna watch it.
All right, what's the town they live in, Brian?
Bedford Falls.
Hey! Greetings
on
from
the-
Bedford Falls.
Based on the real town in upstate New York called Seneca Falls. If you ever get a chance past Ithaca, Seneca Falls, go visit.
Do you have the ornament for your tree? The bell that says you don't? Okay.
I don't, but I do have the murals.
else.
So
That's the one thing my dad has. That's like the ornament that is for my father. And so I'll do all the decorations, and then he'll come over and he puts like 3 Christmas decorations on, like 3 ornaments on my tree, and they're all from our favorite movies. And like, that's one.
nice.
Solid. We don't have a Die Hard ornament because I was one of those people who was like, Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. But after watching it this week,
It's a Christmas movie.
It's a
I take it
Christmas
back.
movie.
It's
Let's
totally a
talk-
Christmas movie.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the plot.
I think the main plot was he wanted to get back with his wife, and he set this whole thing up just so she would take him back. The end.
He paid Hans Gruber and
There's
12
an
German
inside job.
terrorists.
Yeah. There's a movie behind Hans Gruber ordering the robbery, and it's
Follow the money, man. Where's it lead? I love that.
I want to start with the idea that this kind of rubs me. One of the things, why would you have a party, an office party on Christmas Eve? That seems very unlikely.
Because
They
were
said they
doing-
had a big deal that had to be closed,
Yeah, but it's okay.
Well,
and it was a Japanese-owned company.
also
Miss-
that
It's
and
like
a lot of
there
those
were
people don't
so
have
many
kids
people
except the
there,
pregnant
but-
woman who's been told to drink and smoke because it's fine for her.
Right. That part is like, oh, he can have a little sip. You know.
And then what does she say? Your baby's about to like 10-9 or
10 bar.
No,
10
about
bar?
the 10 bar. It's old. Do you think it's
10
okay if I have a drink?
bar.
And she's like, oh, right now it's old enough to 10 bar. Yeah.
because she was ready to pop, basically.
Right.
But the thing is, though, it's like you could tell Holly McClane was still working, and so that's when she told the pregnant one, "It's like, all right, go," because I'm feeling like the Grinch because she was working as well. So they were just finishing things off with whatever deal it was that they were doing and celebrating as well as celebrating Christmas.
Okay.
Right.
I'd never heard that before in my life. I was like, what did she say? What did she mean?
Well, that's what the
As far as the plot, I mean, I thought it was a very well written script. I thought it was a very well planned out kind of heist plot, especially.
Mhm.
I mean, it's a heist movie. End of story. And it's a very well written heist story. Your main villain couldn't have been written any better or portrayed, for that matter, any better. I think this is the movie that made Alan Rickman huge in America. He was already big in England, but huge in America. So it's funny when we were doing the Clerks cartoon series, we had a main villain in the Clerks cartoon called Leonardo, and we brought in Alan Rickman. Kevin had worked with him on Dogma, and Kevin gets him into the studio and was like, we want you to do like the Hans Gruber voice. And he just flat out said, mate, I'm done with that voice. And we were like, okay. So he laid down all this dialogue we needed. And then in the end, the producers were like, it's not what we're looking for. So one of the producers and writers reached out to Baldwin, the main bald one.
Alec.
Alec. Yeah, Alec came in and did what we were kind of looking for and nailed it and stuff. So a weird kind of connection that I have to this movie through Alan Rickman, weirdly.
That's amazing.
That's
Okay,
awesome.
so
I had no idea he was the original.
Yeah.
right.
Very cool.
Yeah, I hadn't seen Die Hard in a million gazillion years, and I didn't remember anything. And I was like, "Oh my God, Snape is in this movie, Professor Snape!" And I immediately got very excited for the rest of the film.
Yeah, he's awesome. The funny thing was, and I don't know if he's done other roles with an American accent, but they were saying the director, so John McTiernan, did not love his. I guess he was struggling with his American accent when he
he broke it a few times.
Yeah, when he switches, and but it was like, it kind of makes sense for the character because the character is like obviously trying to put on an accent for Bruce Willis, but apparently the director was like kind of frustrated because he wasn't doing a good job with his American accent, which is kind of interesting because most Brits can pull off a pretty good American accent.
Well, he nearly passed.
Fun fact.
He nearly passed on this role. And it was his first film role and just in the States as well as overseas, because he was known as a TV and theater star.
Right.
And he'd been in Hollywood for 2 days.
Right.
Wow. Lucky.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but that role, and he was so awesome in it. I mean, he was awesome in it. He really makes it, him and Bruce Willis, obviously, but he really made the movie.
Oh, definitely. I think all the main characters, they're just very well grounded into their characters as well as the dialogue.
Yeah. But yeah, the plot was weird for me.
Me too.
What was weird? Why do you guys think it was weird?
I mean, I think when he, like, what was the boss's name who gets shot right out of the gate? Mr.
Tagaki.
Nakatori.
Yeah, like, what kind of shady deals is that guy doing? Like, I was like, I wanted to know more about, like, Jesus. I wanted to know more about, like, I want to see more, like, about, like, I don't know. I would watch a movie on, like, how that guy got so big and powerful and rich.
Well, he was not the owner of the company. The company is based in Japan. He was part of the American division of it. So when they were first asking him the code, he's
that's
like,
not his money.
No.
And they were even, they were like, you can make 65 million or trillion or however the value was. You'll make that back in a week. You know, it's a drop in the bucket for you guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I always watch films with the words. I don't know why I keep forgetting it. The subtitles, excuse me. And so there's a lot of dialogue that happens in that office room as he's sneaking to overhear what's going on. And it tells the whole plot as to why they're running, but you can't hear it in the actual, just the audio. So when watching it with the subtitles, I was like, oh, you can make 600, he's like 640 million is one of your operating costs in just a week. You'll make this money back, as Noah was saying. So there's a lot more if you watch a movie with the subtitles, even if you're not looking at the subtitles.
You know, it's funny because it's like a few years ago, it's like I have tinnitus. And so it's like I had to start watching with the subtitles because it's like I was missing a lot. And I was like, and I realized, and I used to hate watching movies with subtitles, but it's like I realized it's like, oh, you're seeing a lot of other stuff that you would miss, that even when you can hear things.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. I borrowed this from the internet, so I couldn't have that option.
Jake, what was your
borrow?
My issue, okay, so I thought the way they set up Gruber was pretty interesting. His first lines when he starts like reading from his little book, like, oh, the legacy of greed around the, like, what is it? The Nakatomi company's like legacy of greed around the globe, like right there. I mean, like, I felt like that was kind of cool because, like, it's like, okay, this is a commentary on the evils of industrialization, and then you have a complex villain whose point of view you can actually like understand. I mean, those are the best kinds of villains where you can actually like see where they're coming from.
Yeah.
But then over time, you see that he's just another asshole that just wants millions of dollars. You know, I mean, that is such a bait and switch. I mean, I get it. We can sit here and talk all day about how all, major corporations are just inherently evil. But, they didn't dig deep into, it was like, like Krystle said, they didn't dig deep into what made Nakatomi so bad. Like if they genuinely made their fortune through like some kind of like sketchy means.
Yeah, I would like. I want to know more.
Krystle and Jake.
I would recommend another '80s movie then called Wall Street.
Yeah.
If you want to know more of the corporate greed kind of thing, that's what you're looking for. This one was called Die Hard. I never knew it. Count the money hard. It wasn't like they just know greedy corporation. This guy's going to steal their bearer bonds, and you're going to have a cop who's going to fuck it all.
Look, I mean, in reality, like I wouldn't be normally. You could do this movie and root, in a sense, if they weren't killing people, root for the heist people, like root for Hans and his team, because you're like, oh, you love heist movies because you want them to get away with it because they're robbing off the rich, the man. But obviously, this is different. This is from the perspective of
what I want to add to that is that it's not about the greed of the corporation.
Right.
In the end.
Yeah, no.
That was his excuse, and that was his way of just passing as God. That I'm going to be the one that's going to put everything in the right. But it was just a front. It was
or even when they do the terrorist demands, and he's like, I want these hostages released, I want this hostage released. And he was basically just going off of Wikipedia, like famous terrorist organizations. Sure.
Everybody on a goose chase.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was a sneak screen.
I mean, didn't Die Hard 2 do the similar plot point too? Like, I think the Die Hard 2 actually, or 3, the one with Sam Jackson.
I think that's 2.
One of them did the same concept of like.
Perhaps
doesn't matter.
We'll have to.
I mean, the only
2 and 3 then next time.
Yeah, I was like,
stay tuned for 2024.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the only one who succeeds at any stealing of anything, any big heist in this entire movie is this guy. He stole candy bars.
Oh my God, I saw that! The Musketeers. Also, can we
actually ate them? So he successfully stole shit.
Can we talk about him for a second? So I was watching Die Hard with my girlfriend yesterday, and I was like, oh, what is that guy from? And I was like, I think he was in Big Trouble Little China. And she was like, wow, that's racist. And I was like, okay. What? And then I was like Googling, and I was like, he was in Big Trouble Little China.
Oh, yeah,
he was also in Lethal Weapon.
Dude, he did everything.
He was like the go-to Asian badass guy in the 80s.
Yeah.
Al Leong in this is awesome of an actor that you'll ever see. He just so happens to be Asian.
Yes. And and then so when I was quiet because I was like, damn, maybe I was I felt bad. And then I looked up and I was like, it was him. And I was like, you're racist for saying that.
That's messed up, Krystle. I'm actually disappointed you brought that up.
But I don't know, guys. I thought Gruber was just kind of a flat character, and sorry. I mean, there was like another thing too. There was that like throwaway line about like his past that they just brought up on like the news broadcast, how he was like expelled from his organization because they thought he was too radical. Like, I would have liked to have gone deeper into that. Like, how did that happen? Or like, what set his views apart from their views,
And how, why were the news, why were they labeled terrorists immediately? And why was the news talking about like this terror? Like, why the terrorist handbook? Like, I don't know.
Okay, so the fact is, it's like anybody who goes against anything is labeled a terrorist right away anyway. And Gruber, as far as like being thrown out of the organization that he was in, is because they realized he is just a thief. That was it. I mean, it's like I don't know why you aren't seeing this.
I like my motivations to have a little bit more nuance.
Well, since I always bring up the history of when movies came out at the time. At that time in '88, you had weirdly unrest in the Middle East with the PLO and the Israelis. And other surrounding countries, actually, at that time. You also had Northern Ireland going on, where there was bombings constantly in the Northern Ireland part of Ireland. So there was that negotiations that were going on. You had Afghanistan was invaded at that time by Russia, the Soviet Union, shall I say. So politically, terrorism was a very mainstay in the news, even back in the 80s, because it had been going on for so long. So the bad guy du jour of that time was once again terrorism. But at the same time, Japanese corporations that were buying things and making things happen in the go-go 80s, Sony, Hitachi, all these companies that were coming out were in the 80s. There was an economic backlash here in America about, they're buying everything and they're taking our jobs, kind of a thing. So making someone steal from a Japanese corporation kind of goes with American sensibilities. Number two, having some sort of terrorist organization do it as well, that kind of worked as well. So if you put it in the time slot that we were living in at the time, this all worked incredibly well in 88.
Okay.
That makes sense.
I mean, maybe you just had to.
Damn.
I hope that solves it for you, Jake and Krystle.
Maybe you just had to have been like around during the time in order to appreciate it.
Probably, but at the same time, it is what it is. The
I was
movie
like
is
10 when I saw this. I don't.
But and you know, one thought in my head is, okay, maybe it is, you know, an age thing, and you know, but we have terrorism today too. So I don't know that it could be that.
right. But in the 80s, we had maybe 12 channels. Where when terrorism hit, you couldn't get away from it on the news.
Okay, so talking about channels, like the party line that he's on, at first he gets in like major trouble for talking on this. And I love the like not ordering a pizza line. That was amazing. But at the end, like I guess by then they know he's serious. But I feel like he's talking on that channel so much. And is Urkel's dad the only one who has access to this?
It's not Urkel's dad. It's his
Urkel's neighbor.
Urkel's neighbor.
Oh, I never really watched that show, but I like know the like iconic like.
It is funny that yes, Urkel's
Dad,
father. So what's the question about Urkel's neighbor?
Oh,
The
he's
great
dad of
Reginald
Urkel's
Bell.
neighbor.
Great Carl Winslow.
Carl
Okay.
Winslow.
Okay, right. Urkel was
No,
not
he's
part of
the-
their family. He was the okay, gotcha.
That's Reginald Bell Johnson.
I did cry in this movie, and it was when he was talking about why he's a desk jockey. And I was like, ooh, put some respect on Carl's name.
I did not feel sorry for him at all.
I did.
No, I mean, just you
Oh my
confuse.
God,
I don't care how dark it was. How can you confuse a real gun with a ray gun? Ray guns light up. Real guns don't.
Well, I don't think
Very easy.
in
distinction.
1980s they didn't. The fake guns didn't light up at all. They really didn't.
Jake is like, I'm.
In the 80s, it was
young
like
for
you
this
would buy
film.
a gun that looked just like a gun. It was a toy gun. It was like,
Why don't you quickly Google Cleveland, Ohio, child gets shot playing with a gun in a park when the cops roll up and shoot him within 4 seconds of them arriving. And you'll see how quickly you can confuse something with a gun. It's out there. It happens. And it's hate to put
yeah,
the...
it happened.
Yeah,
Gosh,
it
yeah.
does. It happened recently. It
It
happened
happened
recently.
a lot back in the
4-year-old, I
80s.
think.
Like,
Yeah.
But
did happen,
it's not a
like,
plot. It's not a plot failure. It's reality.
it
I
really
know,
did
and
happen a lot.
that's the only time in the movie where I was just like, ooh, like shit just got real.
Yeah,
This
it was a little bit unexpected that like he was that was the thing. It was
Yeah.
like,
Well,
oh,
and then at
sure,
the
yeah.
end,
And
like
yeah,
the
it's,
ending where it's like
very-
he saves the day, and you're
It's
like
Full circle.
yay!
Yeah.
And then you like,
yeah,
did anyone else get like a little teary eyed there as well? Because I
No.
definitely.
I laughed. I thought the way like it was shot with like, you know, where it's like close up on the gun and then just you see his face and he's just going like that, and it's like I thought that was way too dramatic. Even though he did
He's
technically save the
over
day. I don't know.
He's
Yo, bro.
over it.
We know
Hey,
Jake
Jake,
narrates the movie.
Hold on. I got to have an intervention here, Jake.
Please.
Did you get cold for Christmas? Is someone a little upset? What's going on here?
No, I'm not
Are you-
upset. I'm not upset. I was looking forward to watching this, and you
It
know,
doesn't
just,
like kids getting killed with guns. We get it. We all,
Okay.
we don't
All
like it. But I will say this: the ending when not to fast forward, but with the scene you're talking about, Krystle, he shoots this dude who comes out of nowhere, which is kind of funny.
We
and
should
like,
be dead.
has this dramatic moment, and then he and it seems like nothing. Like everybody just goes back to normal. Like he
Yeah,
does
that was weird.
And then he's like, all right, and it's like happy
ending.
everybody's happy still, and it's very.
And then
strange.
and my biggest fear was like the limo driver was coming up and he was about to shoot him, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah,
he's gonna
that
feel
actually
reset
would have been
again.
funny.
It would have been horrible, Jake.
I
But
thought it was-
but then I was just like, this movie, it's just like, ooh. Also, can we talk about our favorite kills? I'll go first. My favorite kill was definitely the dude who's like, it's like the glass scene and he's running and they like shoot out both of his knees and his legs are just like jello and then his head just like weirdly goes through the glass.
I love that one too. That was my favorite moment.
I laughed
Yeah.
so uncontrollably hard for that one. And I don't normally laugh at death scenes like ever, but that one was just so dumb that I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
I didn't pick a.
Mhm.
Marilyn, what?
Off the screen.
I know I didn't pick a favorite death scene. I mean,
I thought this part was a little crazy because like the bad guy has him dead to rights, knows exactly where he's under the table, and he just like lets Bruce Willis shoot him.
Well, that's such a great line too. Is he's like, next time you have the chance to kill somebody, do it, and then he, good advice.
Good advice.
But,
Right.
He didn't get him in the crotch once, and I found that very just like unlikely. He just got him in the legs.
Jake is not happy about the crime, not getting shot.
Oh my gosh.
True.
Oh my
It's true.
But apparently, I think that's the scene where when he's
Jeffrey
shooting
Dahmer!
I was gonna say yes.
Jeffrey Dahmer made an appearance in this film.
Oh my god.
It looks just like the dude who played Jeffrey Dahmer in like the
God.
new Dahmer
Really does.
series on Netflix.
Evan, what's his name?
Yeah.
That
I
is-
used to think that guy was so hot, and then I saw Jeffrey Dahmer, and I was like, I will never be attracted to him like ever again. So
Krystle
sad.
worries me.
So sad.
Yeah.
Did anyone else have a favorite kill scene? No,
Favorite kill scene? Anyone else?
I agree with you, Krystle.
that was funny.
Yeah.
Brian?
Carl.
I
Nope.
thought it was hilarious when the FBI guys died after exploding the top.
Oh my God,
Hilarious.
dude, those guys, that was ridiculous. Those were some of my least favorite characters.
We're gonna need some more FBI guys, I guess.
Uh,
Well, he's like, we could,
So
they, were
bad
talking
line.
about,
nonchalant about it.
they were talking about losing some of the hostages, and he's like, I could live with that. It was kind of
Also-
like,
Yeah, it's like, you know, I don't. That was my least favorite scene. I have to say, you know, like the fact that they had so little worth on human life.
I mean,
and
they
then
were
for
trying to-
Johnson and Johnson. I mean, like, was that supposed to be funny?
Yeah.
It's
they're trying
not.
to make them-
Oh.
And just
Right.
so I have confirmation, is this motherfucker wearing a backwards baseball cap during a raid?
Yes, the great
Why?
Robert Davi. Robert Davi was the
Goonies.
he was
Oh,
had
he
the
was-
most. He was in everything. He was in the most
Everything.
movies I've ever seen in the 80s.
Yeah. He was
Whatever
always
happened? Is he
bad
still
guy.
alive? Like what?
Yeah. No, he's still around. He's still around.
Okay.
He was a consummate bad guy in the 80s.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. He like scared me so much in the Goonies when he started singing to them. Like that used to terrify me so much as a kid. Gosh. Also, can we talk about when Bruce Willis like ties the
Fire hose.
thank you, the fire hose around his belt, which is like so obviously crazy loose.
Mhm.
Like look how you can see how loose it is here, and I'm like, there's no way that's gonna carry him. Like,
Well, it
No, I
did,
can see how it
Krystle.
can
It did
because
carry him.
I
And it-
mean, yes,
look at
Ralph,
Mhm.
it did, but
You were
there's
wrong.
no way.
That
No
was a
way.
real stunt. He actually did that and jumped off the building.
Yeah, I
Dude,
don't.
true 40 feet in
And
the
shot the
sky.
crap. That was
No
because,
net below.
One take they did that in. I'm just kidding.
because I can see how that would hold on, because it's like you see that it's loose, but it's like when you realize that there's this big huge metal nozzle
Hose.
at the very end. It's
What?
like even if it's loose, it's going to tighten up as
Yeah, right. Exactly.
And then you get that kind of like tense payoff where it's like, oh shit, gotta get it off.
exactly.
Just pulling them down.
right.
I will
Yeah.
admit that even though I knew there were like 4 sequels, I did feel some tension during that particular moment.
I would like to also comment that who uploaded the pictures, because
Both
this
of us.
one's labeled Cokehead Smiling.
That was Hans
Yeah.
Bulby. I'm your white knight.
Booby. Like, let's talk about this guy for a second.
I love this guy. He's my favorite for the whole movie.
Favorite kill. Favorite kill.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's off screen.
I mean, I wasn't exactly rooting.
You don't need, and that's what's even more. He's not worth it. You know, he's not worth being shown.
For it. He was so asking for it.
Yeah.
It was
I mean,
so
he was. What's weird is like, he did kind of do the right thing by like not telling Hans that like, John was or that John was Holly's husband.
Right.
So there was a
Right.
little bit
You
of
thought
virtue
he
in
was
that. I
going
mean, like
to.
I wasn't rooting for the guy to live, but at the same time, it's like I mean, John did kind of get him killed.
He plays it so well. It's not, John gives him every opportunity to be like, tell him you don't know me. Tell him you don't know me. And this dude is just he's such a coked up 80s businessman where he's like, I can do $100 million deals a day. I can handle terrorists. And the entire time they're
I'm what?
Jake, you know who you sound like?
Who do I sound like, Ralph?
This guy.
Oh, come on, no.
Hey, but it's nice. It's nice to see the principal from Breakfast Club moved on and got a job in the police department.
That's where I know him from. I could not put my finger on it.
I couldn't decide if that was him or one of the cops from The Mask.
No,
I need to watch The Mask
that is the great late Paul Gleason. Very great.
Wow.
But yeah, no, that
Oh,
guy.
he died? He died? I didn't know he died.
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah. Judd Nelson killed him.
Judd Nelson really did give him
the business.
Give him the business.
Yeah. Well, I gotta put this one up one more time. Bobby.
I love it. It was a good scene. It was so funny when he finally realizes like McClane's not gonna back down, and he starts like realizing he's dead.
I don't know. Did he realize that he was dead?
Yeah, there's a moment in his eyes where he starts to get scared, and you're like,
There's a part where he's talking to Hans Gruber, and he's like, "Hey, Hans, I'm not a method actor. You don't got to put the gun in my face." Right. Like he's still kind of playing it off nonchalant, like, "Hey, put that gun down." What are you doing with that trigger?
But at that point,
I think this is the moment right here.
But at that point,
there, he takes. He's like, "Oh, I'm screwed." What's that, Marilyn?
That at that point, Gruber did not have the gun pointed at him. It's like he was playing it all along as if this is all stuff that is happening, so that John would think that, oh my God, he actually is going to do it. But it's like he actually killed himself in this whole thing because.
He's an idiot.
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
But he
what was his end game? What was he trying to accomplish?
He was on coke, dude. He don't know.
No.
Like at the best case scenario, John McClane gives himself up and they shoot him.
He didn't have to be that person. He didn't have to be on coke to be that person. That's who he was. The coke just actually put that out there even more.
Yeah,
I will say on IMDb, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I thought it was interesting. They bring him a Coca-Cola and they pour it into a glass for him. Somebody on IMDb had said that like the intention was off screen. He was like, "Hey, you guys got any Coke?" And them just thinking like, "Oh, he wants a Coke? Bring him a Coke," and filling him that when actually he was asking for cocaine. I can't confirm that, but it just was a very funny.
Anything else? Or is this like his only film?
I was surprised to learn today he had a voice role in Batman Mask of the Phantasm. He played Arthur Reeves, the councilman that gets infected by the Joker toxin, and then he's like confined to a bed, like laughing his ass off.
So quick, speaking of Batman, is Batman Returns a Christmas movie?
Yeah, I already said that. Yeah.
You already, okay.
Yes.
Doesn't he look a little like Luke Wilson here?
No.
Luke Wilson with a beard, maybe?
No.
Tiny bit.
This guy needed more screen time, Brian.
Oh my God, I love Argyle. I love him so much, and I hate that they gave him almost nothing to do.
Yeah.
But just...
Yeah, he needed so much more.
He found somebody he likes in the movie. Argyle.
And the cheesiest punch in the film was him, for sure.
You know what?
I loved it, though.
The punch, when he punches Theo, the hacker, at the end, I mean, I was going back watching that scene multiple times throughout the day, and there's no way that punch connected with his face. Like, that landed on his torso at best.
Dang it. Wait, I missed
it. It wouldn't have knocked him out. It wasn't that good.
No.
So Theo was a nerd. Okay? Like, the biggest nerd in the movie right there. He made me laugh almost every line that he had. I was like, this guy.
He had a great entrance, though.
Yeah, he did.
Argyle got a win.
Look, Jake,
Yeah.
like as far as movies, there are many times that punches or
Yeah.
that
I know,
things
it's
like
more
that were
believable.
done that there's no way that it would have
It's
actually knocked
funny.
him out.
It's funny, like in the 80s, like it was old.
It's funny to watch them now
like
because they're just
literally
so
that
bad.
was the way to get around anything. Like punch somebody and they automatically get knocked out like for like an hour. Like there's no
It still
Okay.
happens. It
doesn't
still
make any
happens.
sense.
I see that many times in
Still
films,
happens,
and I'm like,
yeah.
get out of here.
Okay, but the guy who like at the end where like Family Matters dad, what is his name again? I'm so sorry,
Carl.
Anthony.
Reginald
Carl.
Johnson L.
Carl Winslow.
Okay, so that the blonde guy, the Russian whose brother, like
Carl.
he was literally like hung with metal chains, knocked out. So he was like, even if your hands are here and you're like, I don't know, like he was knocked out for a very long time.
Right.
If he did magically survive, how did he get down? And
Right.
how did and he's not alive. There's no way.
We don't know.
Movie magic.
That guy.
I think that one was a stretch.
That one was a hard pill for me to swallow.
We gotta do Carl Winslow's arc. So who can we bring back that's gonna come from
Fair. Also, the ambulance was in that like the car in the garage, and we see the doors open to that, and everyone run out. And there was no ambulance in there, and then later, an ambulance comes out. So that also was hard for me. It's just like I spent a lot of the time questioning this film.
As much as there's a continuity person on set, there's always continuity.
There's
issues.
always issues.
Mhm.
Listen, not Phil Cole's in the greatest Christmas movie of all time.
All right. By the way, real quick, did you guys recognize Argyle from anywhere else?
No, what's he
He
doing?
was Blues Brothers. The little kid who lives down the street.
Way.
I would have never noticed that. I would have never known that. That is.
That's a hard pick for sure.
Well,
Oh my
he,
gosh, that's cool. That's
he
cool.
actually got his start in the Jeffersons in 1977, but he's in a lot of 70s and 80s popular shows.
Okay. Okay.
Good
I
for
will
him.
say
Made that
Justin
full
says
career.
Justin says Carl wasn't even supposed to be there that day. They called him into work. Brian, can you relate?
That's
But just like Dante, he got shit done too.
Hey!
Hell yeah.
Saved the
And maybe
day.
like the lights on his car weren't working, so he had to like spray paint on the hood. Like, I assure you, I'm on duty.
There you go.
This guy. Now here's somebody who we all wish was killed.
Oh my God, yes.
He got what he deserved at the end, though. He got that
Yeah,
good.
but he only got
punishment.
punched. Like he needed to get fucked up.
Well, he's an actor.
He's the one who almost got her killed.
He was
Yeah.
always playing a bad guy in that
Yeah,
time.
he was always a douche. He was in Real Genius, another great movie with Val Kilmer,
I've
where
never
he
seen
was
that one.
the professor. Some fun stuff.
You know, there were quite a few people in this that were very just not aware of the situations really, and only in it for themselves. And many of them were the deputy, the newscaster, as well as Ellis, the Bubby baby.
Bobby.
Stupid.
Capitalism, brother.
Mhm.
Yeah, which is mirrors most people in life.
Yeah.
Real quick, this is a picture of a still of me at Wawa after a night of drinking.
I love this. This is
That's actually not me. It's Carl
She's
Winslow.
pregnant. Yeah, sure.
Great character. I love this character. I still have a theory that this is really a movie about John McClane and his character's sort of love story between them.
100%. I really was like, are they gonna kiss at the end? Like,
I'm sure there's a lot of fan fiction about that. Just like there's a lot of fan fiction about like, Steve and Bucky in the MCU.
Like the Top Gun ending with what's his name? Maverick and Iceman.
yeah.
Okay.
Bullshit. You
what
can
am-
be mine.
We've said it all. We've said it all.
I feel like we haven't. But real
We
quick,
have.
one of my least favorite and also favorite lines was when his wife was like, only John can drive someone that crazy, when she's like, he's still alive. I was just like, oh my God, that is so cheesy. It's cute, was so cheesy. It was a big eye roll, but like also cute with an eye roll.
I didn't
like
buy them
that.
as a couple at
I
all.
like at the end when they say Miss Gennaro and she goes, "It's Mrs. McLean."
And that was okay. Look. All right. So look, their marriage fell apart because Holly wanted to move up in her career and John wanted to stay in New York and just put away criminals there.
No, he wanted to be a man. Like, no, I really think he couldn't handle her being more successful than him.
Wait,
Oh wow, there's a lot getting right into this. Yes.
He even talks about that. He literally like talks about that to Carl. Yes. Yeah.
And there are a lot of men out there who can't handle the woman doing better than they do.
Yeah, and this was 88. So yeah, he was legit like
I root for it.
And just so you know, Jake, so the book was called Nothing Lasts Forever.
I know, yeah.
In the book, it wasn't with his wife. It was his daughter. Yeah.
And she died at the end. She fell out the window with Gruber.
Oh shit!
And it was like a tragic end. Spoiler alert.
Oh no!
Yeah, so they changed things around for the movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
So yeah, the movie. Yeah, it's very, very.
Yeah, that's much different. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
But look, I feel like we didn't see enough of John and Holly together for anyone to actually care if they reconciled. I mean, they had their one scene together in the bathroom, and then the conversation was very middle of the road. It wasn't like especially tense or anything. So by the time we get to the end and they kiss and she goes, "Oh, I'm Holly McLean again." Yeah, it doesn't feel like there was this big swing in the opposite direction. Like they just went through a traumatic experience together, sure, but it didn't feel like their marriage was such a disaster that their reunion was a big deal. Because for the most part, they were still like kind of getting along.
Yeah, she offered to stay. He could stay with her house.
Well, yeah, the only thing that's going to resolve the marriage is if one of them's going to move back or move to the other.
If only they would put all these facts in another medium. I don't know, maybe a book that was written about it, and they could only take so much from a book.
I mean, do you want the movie to be 3 hours?
Jake, I challenge you, to find a book, try to make a hour and 85-minute, whatever it is this movie is, and try to keep everything, and then still make an entertaining movie.
While we're here,
it wasn't entertaining.
Otherwise, you're making The Irishman by Scorsese, where literally an hour and a half, you're like, what the fuck is going on here?
I'm surprised it was longer than 2 hours. That was too long.
Don't get me started on that. Okay, that moves us right into the Zenescope chart. Let's look up where we are.
I can't wait to see Jake's rating.
Let's see. Ratings by movie. Fury Road seems to have done really well. Krystle, you missed Fury Road last month.
But if you give me your score, Fury Road has a chance of beating Fight Club.
Did Krystle give you a score last month?
No, I didn't do RoboCop or Fury Road. I'll have to get back to you on that because Fury Road, that's Mad Max, right? That's the first Mad Max?
Well, technically the fourth.
Fury Road is tied with
what year did Fury Road come out?
2015.
What's Fight Club have the 442 stars with it? Why does that have stars next to
it?
Because it's at the top.
Yeah, Fight Club has the highest average score. So Fight Club is ranked number one.
Right. Wow, my math.
I mean, Drive should have been higher, but whatever.
425 was higher than 442 for some reason. Okay.
I don't know why Drive is not higher.
That was bad.
You can tell that we tried for Drive. Drive had 3 5s.
Marilyn ruined Drive. Let's see what else we have.
Marilyn, stand by my numbers. Thank you very much.
And then Krystle, what did she give? Speed half a
0.5.
Yeah, so we can talk. Krystle, we can talk, but
Okay. Fun fact: Jan
back to your corners.
Jan DeBont, who directed Speed, he was the director of photography on Die Hard.
Oh, that is a fun fact.
Good fact. Thank you. Okay, who wants to begin?
Jake.
I'll go last.
No, Jake.
No, Jake.
Jake, you know your score, or you just want to go last?
No, I know my score. Believe me, I know my score, Ralph.
Write it down on paper, otherwise I don't believe you.
Kick it off with Jake's score. I don't know. Okay, Jake's gonna bring us all down. We'll see. Okay, who wants to begin?
I'll start because I think I'm going to give this pretty middle of the road. I loved this movie growing up. I watched it anytime it was on TNT. My more recent viewing, for whatever reason, it just didn't hit as hard as it did. I think it's still a good movie, good action flick, a little bit longer than I remember it being in the past. I personally don't consider it a Christmas movie, but I respect everybody's choice to consider it a Christmas movie.
That's what I want to put into everybody. Mention if you think it is a Christmas movie in this, so we can find.
I can see how it is a Christmas movie. I feel like it's not a Christmas movie because I can easily watch this in June, whereas A Christmas Story or Elf or Christmas Vacation, I would never watch those outside of December. Die Hard, I can watch any month, any week, whatever.
Okay.
Good movie. Solid action.
Put yours on there too. Sorry, Jake. 3?
What was it?
Three. Giving it 3 Grubers.
3 Grubers
out of 5 Grubers.
Okay, and people in chat, I want to know yours as well. We've got a 3.8 and a 4 so far.
Okay, Krystle, you go.
I'm going to give this movie a 2.5.
5 Grubers.
Yeah, it's not like I feel like it's pretty middle of the road for me, except like I wouldn't watch this again. Like honestly, I might even give it a 2. I might give it a 2. I know everyone's gonna be so mad. I'll just give it a 2 because I just feel like it's just like it's never on my Christmas list. It's never one that I'm like I want to go to. And after watching it, like I had to watch it over 2 days
Bruce
because
you a look. He's pissed.
Oh no! I know. So we're just gonna give it a 2 because it was okay. And I think if I was a guy, I would give it a higher score. But
okay.
2 Grubers.
Anyone want to go next? Does anyone want to go next?
Sure, I'll go next. So listen, I saw this in theaters. I agree with Noah. This is a movie that I respect people who call it a Christmas movie. Okay. But you can watch it all year round and it not be affected while an actual, Christmas Story or, A Wonderful Life. You kind of have to be in the season really to enjoy it to its fullest. I thought the writing of their adaptation from the book to a screenplay for that time, it was a really great boost as to what action movies in the 80s were. Especially they took it to a higher level. They had this very highly intelligent bank robber, let's put it what it is, to throw all these kind of barriers to get out of, to get hidden and stuff. This was a movie, even though Bruce Willis was already a huge television star from doing Moonlighting, this was his big movie action star break and made him an absolute worldwide sensation after this. So that being said, the villains, you couldn't get any better cast of goofy Euro trash kind of villains. The types of kills I thought were very inventive. The fact that this dude was willing to kill hundreds of people on a roof and blow up at the top of an entire building, quite clever. And the fact that one man could take them all down from New York, represent, is I thought was really cool. So I'll give this a 4.25.
It's high for Brian.
4.25.
I was, you set that up like you weren't going to go that high. I feel like.
No, I knew Brian was going to go high.
Okay.
I like the movie. It's something that I always remember.
Jake, are you ready yet? You still want to go last?
Marilyn, did you give your review yet?
I did not.
Please do.
Oh, sorry.
Please do, Jake.
So, whether I consider it a Christmas movie or not, sure. But I agree with Noah on this. It can be watched at any time. Now, 20th Century Fox formally admitted that it was a Christmas movie. So there is that. But yeah, you can watch this at any given time. Now, as to what Brian was saying, so Bruce, because he was doing Moonlighting at the same time, a lot of the other characters were then kind of bumped up as far as lines because he asked for the other characters to be beefed up because he was exhausted from shooting both Moonlighting and this at the same time. I actually enjoyed the movie, and I feel like there was no lag time. And I feel like to Jake saying that, you know, like some of the characters like kind of needed to be sussed out. I don't think there was time in this to be able to do that. Otherwise, it really would have. Then there would have been some lag time. I think the movie gave the information that it needed to give for what was actually really going on in this film, plot wise. So, in all of that, I enjoyed it. I was kind of like, you know, 4.5, you know, not quite sure, but I think I'm going to stick with the 4. I enjoyed it. And, you know, lots of times that we've watched some of these movies that we've seen in the past, and then you don't know whether they're going to hold up, and some of them have not held up very well. This one I think holds up. So that's my take.
That's fair. You know, Marilyn, you're right. I'll give it a 2.5, actually. No.
The Groovers.
Wow,
Half a Groover has been added.
You convinced Krystle Finger scored a 2.5. Okay, Jake, do you want to go last? Or you want me to go?
You go.
Go, Ralph.
Yeah.
Jake's ready to drop the bomb.
Yeah, Jake's scary.
He's
I have
Oppenheimer.
to go higher than normal. I love this movie. It's a great movie. It's not a perfect movie. It just feels like Christmas to me too. I would say it is a Christmas movie, even though it's meh. But
It's a Christmas movie. It's not a holiday movie.
You can watch it anytime. That is correct, but it does feel Christmas to me, like it's on every holiday. That said, still feels like it holds up fairly well. Bruce Willis at his peak. Bruce Willis. Hans Gruber is excellent, despite what some of our panelists say. I love Hans Gruber's character. Keep it short and sweet. I've been wavering between a 4 and a 4.5. It's not a 4.5. It's not that great.
So 4.25?
I'm thinking 4.25 is the sweet spot.
Well, that's our show tonight. Thank you all for watching. I'd like to say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to our audience and everything. We'll see you next time. Thank you for the big Zenescope ending. Here we go.
All right, Jake.
All right, so I have never seen this movie before last night. And, you know, I went into it with very high expectations. My only experience with, like, the Die Hard franchise was just having seen most, not all, but most of Live Free or Die Hard, like, maybe on TV 10 years ago. So, yeah, again, really high expectations going in. And I was just very, very underwhelmed. Okay, I mean, I felt Gruber was very just underdeveloped as a villain. Bruce Willis is very charismatic. You know, he's a good charismatic leading man, and I understand why this like kind of catapulted him to stardom or whatever. But like, I didn't really like just buy his, you know, relationship with Holly, and I think it was poorly written. A lot of the one-liners, they missed the mark for me. A lot of the jokes, I just didn't think they were funny. So, yeah, and I don't think this is a Christmas movie. I was telling Noah earlier today, it feels like, you know, all the Christmas references are just forced in there. Like they had a couple days left of reshoots, and then the studio decided at the last minute, you know what, we're going to make this a Christmas movie. So they just got one of the PAs to just go down to the dollar store and pick up a couple decorations. They just stuck them in there wherever they could. They added some Christmas music, and they just farted out a quote unquote Christmas movie. So there's that. And
Okay.
And so yeah, I'm just gonna give this big old 2.
Jake's absolutely right. They threw that giant 25-foot tree in the big Yakatomi fucking building. They had all that. They just had a couple of PAs coming back from Wawa with the fucking coffees and picked up all that decor, Jake. You're
it's
right.
Not hard to decorate a tree.
I'll be honest, I didn't even expect it to.
I didn't expect it to either. I was like, damn, I feel like I should give it a 3
or something.
It's not it's not the most aggressively bad movie I've ever seen.
Aggressive.
Well, that was a pretty aggressive low score.
I thought we were getting half. I thought we were getting Krystle half.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna give a 0.5.
We'll
I
take
was
it.
like,
We'll take it.
I'm glad
Okay.
Krystle added the 0.5 Gruber to kind of even that out.
yeah, now I feel like it needs to be a 3, Dan.
Can I ask a somewhat personal question in a very public forum?
Oh.
Uh-oh.
I'm genuinely curious about this. I know Bruce Willis, obviously it sucks that, what's going on with him and everything, but obviously, we've all heard kind of like the stories of, how he kind of interacted with Kevin on the set of Cop Out. So like, as like, his friends and collaborators for coming up on 30 years now, or probably over 30 years at this point. Has that like colored like how you kind of like see the movie?
I don't know what you're talking about, so no.
I'm actually going to bring up a situation where not too long after the announcement of what was happening with Bruce, I got to see Kevin talk about the situation at Comic-Con, I think it was. It was a convention. Anyway, and I think he said that Bruce had actually reached out to him, but it's like what Kevin then came to understand that at that time, Bruce was probably starting to go through some of the situation that was actually kind of happening. So he then kind of realized at a certain point that it's like, that he was seeing his perspective and then came to understand what was maybe happening and felt bad about that.
Mm-hmm.
And, but something to all that effect.
Okay.
And as far as it coloring my opinion of the film with whatever happened with Kevin and Bruce, don't know what happened with Kevin and Bruce. Don't have a firsthand account of it. Don't even know the story that people watch him when he does his interviews about Bruce. It's not my bag. Doesn't matter. So to me, I'm just seeing the movie for what it is at that time. If Bruce Willis went on in real life to go out and shoot 25 people and, in their real life, and then we were watching a movie of theirs, I'd be like, well, before this guy lost his mind and shot 29 people in a supermarket, then there would definitely color my opinion. But as far as this, no, my movie score is based on this. Whatever happened between him and Kevin on Cop Out happened. I wasn't in Cop Out, so I don't know what really happened. And like I said, nor do I know the full story. So,
Brian,
so same.
Safe to say.
But otherwise, I would think in asking that question, you're diverting, Jake, the fact that the entire audience is booing you. Boo. Boo.
So is it safe to say, Brian, that you do not watch Naked Gun the same anymore because of OJ?
Oh my God, Marilyn, I cannot handle your
You can still watch Naked Gun. OJ's getting thrown around in a bed. He gets folded in.
It's actually, and Noah's right. It's actually more fun knowing that, OJ was being absolutely humiliated in that movie.
Yeah, watch him get they slam a door in his face. He gets completely just raped.
All right, so
what
was the overall score then?
And
let's see the cover of the next one.
Cover unveiling is happening. We're starting to tease the cover. Okay, so I want to say two things. A, you guys haven't seen Sun on the streams lately. Sun, no. I had talked to her a lot. She just isn't in love with being on live. So she kind of
so crazy. I love watching her live.
Everybody loves seeing Sun, but she wasn't that comfortable doing it, so she kind of ducked out. So this is Sun's last, for now, her final movie club cover.
Oh,
next year. We have a switch up. So Sun's doing another line of covers for us in 2024. So two things. Sun will be doing covers and has been doing tons of covers for us. However, I think she kind of was ready for a little movie club break. And we also have Elias. I don't know if Brian, Krystle, and Marilyn know who Elias is, but he's one of our amazing cover artists who will be taking over doing movie club covers for 2024.
Okay, I think I know who he is.
So that said, this is the final Sun movie club.
Oh my
cover.
Gosh, we've had her
for now. At least for now, we don't know. We might
going to be a rare collectible, audience. So get it now.
Well, that's
No,
also the reason,
seriously,
you know, after
seriously.
a while, you know, she's been doing almost 3 years old practically.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
but I kind of feel like I hope we don't lose the female perspective now that a guy is going to be doing this.
We'll see. We'll see. Elias is awesome.
You see what I'm saying?
Let the artwork speak for itself.
So we'll see what Elias. There's a lot of fans on the stream too. So
Oh man,
we have
let's see.
faith.
Let's look.
All right, so let's see the covers. Without further ado, boom.
Yeah.
Die.
Another killer, son.
Okay, I'm dropping the links here. These are beautiful covers. I love this cover.
Gorgeous.
And
Ford. Nice.
I will give a shout out. Jason in our office made a really cool observation. So that character is Cinderella, and her main weapon is a samurai sword.
Right.
However, this is very similar, and I don't know if it was an intentional Sun move or not, but very similar to Bruce Willis's role in Pulp Fiction, where he's got the samurai sword. So it's like double Bruce.
Never know.
By the way, is the Cinderella spelled Sinderella?
No.
Missed opportunity.
That would have been
Your evil doppelganger.
So,
Dang.
yeah, that's
Ryan.
the Final Sun Movie Club cover. Go get it today. If you guys want to meet Sun or have her cover signed, she'll be in Las Vegas in March 8th and 9th for the Las Vegas VIP event with Zenescope. So come out to Las Vegas and hang out with Sun and Noah and Jake and myself and Ebas and Nei and who else? Mike Crone. So yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know. Tickets are on sale for the VIP event. What do you guys have to plug or talk about tonight?
Oh, you can see the Christmas special on Hulu. So if you guys go to the season 4 of Lego Masters, it's like the very end, so the last 2 episodes. And if you've missed the first season of Lego Masters, it's also on Hulu. But I do much better on the holiday special. So, and my partner is Rob Riggle, who is hilarious, and Kelly Osbourne and Beast Mode, Marshawn Lynch, and Real Housewives of Atlanta, Nene Leakes is on there as well.
Nice.
And it was just really, really fun. Thank you, Robert. Yeah, it was super fun. And if you guys still want to have a little bit of that holiday spirit, it is very holiday themed. So I did a Christmas special.
I'm putting it on as soon as this is over. We're very excited
for her.
Nice. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're happy to have you back. Sorry, go ahead.
If folks didn't get theirs, you can order online. Get the Dante.
Clerks.
Oh shit!
Hey!
Need it.
Love it.
There you go. We got the 5 characters there: Dante, Randall, Elias.
Ew, wow.
Dude, hell yeah.
Boo to them not having a Veronica.
Yeah, we need a Veronica.
Yeah.
Yes.
This
Also,
is not cool.
I'll be up in Alaska Con February 3rd and 4th with Michael Rosenbaum, Tom Welling,
Right
and
on.
tons of other great people. So check that out. That's at Alaska Comic Con, and Comic Con is
Wear your
CON.
coat, Brian. We don't want you to get
Yes, February. And then after that, hopefully I'll be able to warm up at the Jay and Silent Bob Presents the Cruise Askew, sailing from Miami to the Bahamas at the end of February.
Ooh.
Go to
I do want to do that.
cruiseaskew.com. Tons of great things. We're also signed on a couple of weeks ago. Soul Asylum will be playing as one of the
Brian, do you have
bands.
any comp cruise tickets for a movie club?
No, I did. Funny story is one of the View Askew people thought that they could bring 14 people.
What?
And, yeah, literally suggested, "Oh, I'll totally go, but can I bring 14 people?"
14.
And they were like, "No."
You know what?
They have a little dinghy in the back.
Before that happens, they better have me. Is all I gotta say.
No, it didn't happen. The request didn't go far at all. It just went
No,
no.
I figured that.
Write
I
your
know, but
local senators to get a Veronica doll, please?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I will say I saw on that promo it said pub crawl with Brian
Yes.
O'Halloran.
It got such a popular request. I got an email a week and a half ago from the promoter saying, does Brian mind doing 2 pub crawls?
Oh,
And
Do it too.
which I replied back, not on the same day. So there will be 2 pub crawls. I'll have my podcast, The O'Halloran, tons of other stuff going on. So cruiseskew.com, a good way to spend some time in February.
Yeah, it would be, wouldn't it?
Marilyn, are you doing anything coming up as well? Any appearances in the next couple months?
No,
Or
I don't.
Not right now.
I have nothing.
I'm with you, Marilyn. It is time to rest and recover.
No, I don't want to rest. Okay, I don't want to rest.
Zenescope will do. Well, there's a couple things. We have the VIP event, which tickets are on sale now, as we mentioned. We have what do we have coming up? I had something else I totally spaced. Help me out, Noah or Jake, if you know.
The retailer live stream on January 2nd. Yeah.
Say it one more time.
Retailer live stream on January 2nd.
Stream next Tuesday.
What's our next movie for
And
January?
Next
Can
movie.
we show the
Next
list?
movie club is Hellraiser.
Yes.
Can we show the list, Ralph?
Yeah, show the list. Go for it.
Here is the list and a bit of a sneak preview of Elias's upcoming work.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Doing
Never-ending
Spaceballs on my
Story.
birthday.
100% yes.
And you need to send that list to us.
Spaceballs, Blade Runner, yes. Ghostbusters, yes. Nightmare, yes. Weird Science, yes. Conan, yes.
Crystal approved so far.
Yeah, I actually am cool with all of those.
We did stick to an 80s theme. I'm pretty sure we did all 80s here.
Good.
Okay, so that's the 80s Superman.
It's all 80s. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I think, was the only one we went outside the 80s.
Well, Superman came out in 78.
Oh, yeah, Superman. That's right.
Yeah.
Superman 78 and Texas
Hellraiser was 78.
Hellraiser
I mean,
was
87. 87.
Yeah.
87.
No Arnold.
No Arnold.
What
and
about Conan?
these are
Conan
all-
the Barbarian.
We did
Right
all
there,
Bojack. We did
How
all-
dare you forget me? I will
Yeah.
crush you.
That
Yeah.
was a close
Dates
one.
are subject to change, but for now, these are our dates. They could move, and we
I
will try
love
to get
Never Ending Story.
Oh, girl. Yes.
Never Ending Story. I'm afraid to watch because that freaking horse scene. God damn it! I didn't see that movie since I was
Reach
9.
out to Noah, the actor who was in Neverending Story.
Yeah, we can.
Noah.
Yeah.
Good job, Noah.
Thanks.
No, who did he play in Neverending Story, Brian?
Leo.
The main kid.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, dope.
Noah Hathaway played the main kid in that.
Noah Hathaway.
Oh,
So
hell
there's
yeah.
the list. Join
By the
us
way,
January
real
24th.
quick, you know what we forgot to mention about Die Hard? We had the Ghostbuster Evil God was one of the terrorists. You know the Ghostbuster painting?
Yeah.
That was him. That was that actor.
Oh my god. I did not put that together at all.
Never.
Wilhelm von Hamburg was his name. Yeah.
Humbug.
Figured that out.
There you go.
Very important.
He went on to be a
side
deity.
note. Jake, do you want to alter your score now that you know that?
I would not. No.
Maybe
But you know what I would like?
2.75.
You know what I
I'll
would
give it
like?
2.75.
Just making sure. Give
I
it
would
your
like.
what?
I mean, look,
Did you
I
hear
know we're
that?
like. I
You're
know we're
changing
like.
it to 2.75?
2.75.
No.
You're locked in. That's locked in.
2.75.
Okay.
No,
Solid 2,
No.
and even that's being too generous.
2.75.
We got what we can from Jake. We'll take the 2. Okay,
Yeah.
guys.
Listen,
That being said, yes, Jake.
I was like, I know we're like 18 minutes over, but I mean, if nobody has any place to be, I mean, I'd be curious to hear what everybody's favorite movies of 2023 were, seeing how this is the last stream of the year.
Gosh, I would never
Let's
be.
do that next month because we are.
I haven't seen it, but it's probably going to be Barbie or Hunger Games.
Oh, Krystle, you'll love it.
Let's save
I
that
know.
for.
I love Barbie.
award
I saw
season.
Barbie. I haven't seen Hunger Games yet.
We'll save it for award season. Oppenheimer.
I read it.
All right,
It's
let's not get in
amazing.
that discussion because we are 18 minutes over.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
I love you guys.
Happy New Year, everybody!
Yes.
Holidays.
Bye, Stephanie. Bye,
Bye.
Marilyn.